Truth be told, he's always been a hustler on a mission. Mission for greatness. Some people are naturally blessed with the hustler's ambition. Now this story is one that we're all quite familiar with. This man had talent and a dream. Three things that he always had besides his 45 were intelligence, ambition, and intuition. Hustler is not simply born. The true hustler is created as he adapts to the bullshit this world throws at him.
Hey, what up, everybody? I just want to let you know BGK's Gambino has been dropping bombs. This boy has turned out to be one of the best dogs we ever produced. He is a 150-pound, trimerle, beautiful, handsome stud. He looks just like his father, MBK's Morpheus. The only difference is he's actually bigger and a lot younger. This boy isn't even 2 years old yet, and he's already a monster. His pedigree, incredible. He has MBK's Morpheus, BGK's Picasso, BGK's The Rock, Stone, XB's Icon, XB's Comet. The list goes on. He was taken to our female, our lilac tri, Nala, AK's Nala of BGK, and she has some bossy blood behind her, among other things. He has bossy silverback, etc., etc. This combination is perfect. These puppies turned out amazing. Big, thick, colorful, XXL tri-merles and tri-pups. My goal when I created BGK's Gambino was to supersize the tri and the tri-merle game. I seen a lot of beautiful colored bulls, but they didn't have that XXL size. That's what we bring to the table. Remember, quality matters. Hey, what up, BGK gang? This is Andre at Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert button so that you're notified every time we drop content, and that's gonna be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode.
Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time. Let's get ready for a BGK story time.
This story is about the time that a couple people decided to challenge the size of BGK dogs, specifically BGK's Cujo. We had to show them what a real big dog looks like. Yeah, that happened. I don't care what your girl is telling you, she's lying. Size matters. And you know the BGK motto, quality matters.
What up, BGK fam? It's Andre BGK back at you with another banger. You know how we do. Welcome to BGK Storytime if you haven't been here before. Welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. We appreciate you guys. Happy to have you here. Today's story time is going to be interesting as always. It's about Big, all right? So you already know we are called Big Gemini Kennels, right? So when I was first coming up with my kennel name, I knew I wanted to do it big. So I knew I wanted to make supersized dogs. I want them to be a lot bigger than the average. And I came in with that mind state, all right? And as far as Geminis go, I'm a Gemini. Matter of fact, a lot of my friends actually call me Gemini. If you don't know that, now you know. A lot of my close friends call me Gemini or Dre. Y'all are friends. You here with me right now. Feel free to address me as Gemini or Dre, all right? And let's talk about some famous Geminis, because I'm going to tell you a little bit about Geminis. We kind of crazy, right? We're a little left field. I'll tell you a couple famous Geminis and it'll make sense to you. We're smart but crazy. Donald Trump, believe it or not, yeah, he's a Gemini. Kanye West, that man's a Gemini. Tupac, Biggie, both of those men were Geminis. Who else? Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is a Gemini. Andre 3000. Andre 3000 is a Gemini. Left Eye, remember the rapper Left Eye? She was a Gemini. I'm not going to bore you guys and keep on going down that line, but I think you see where we're going with it. So anyway, back to the plot of the story. The story is about Big, right? Now, when I got Rock, BGK's The Rock, if you haven't seen that story time, I made a story time about buying the world's biggest pit bull, really an XL American bully, as we all know. And that was BGK's The Rock. So after I purchased BGK's The Rock, there was a big ordeal about who had the biggest XL American bully. All right, so I was heavily marketing The Rock at that time, which I didn't really know much about American bullies and pit bulls and the differences. I learned that as I went. But at that time, I was marketing The Rock as the world's biggest pit bull. And a lot of people got butthurt about that, and a lot of people didn't like to hear that. At that time, he actually was the biggest XL American bully walking around. He was the biggest blue, right? So I would tell everybody that. And then there was these guys that were overseas, and they had this dog named Cesar. And they swore to God that Cesar was the biggest dog ever produced, and he was way bigger than The Rock, and he was way bigger than The Rock's son, who is BGK's Cujo. I made a story about creating BGK's Cujo. If you haven't seen that, please go watch it. But anyway, BGK's Cujo got shipped over to Europe. So BGK's Cujo happened to be in the same location that Cesar was. Cesar was from Urban Lion. I think that's the name of the kennel that owned him, Urban Lion. And there was this video of Cesar that went viral.
Il tue mon frère. Oh. Bien joué. Là, la seconde. 14 mois. Oh, il le tient. Et il est un peu dominant.
Right? Cesar looked huge in that video. When I say huge, he looked huge, even to me. Now you gotta imagine, I owned The Rock, I produced BGK's Cujo, and I'm still looking at his videos like, damn, this is a big ass dog. This is really a big ass dog. So as I started looking at the videos of that dog, I was like, I wonder, like I know BGK's big is different than most bigs, right? I wonder how these dogs would measure up if they were ever in the same place at the same time. So I started getting into it online because there's different dog forums where a lot of us breeders hang out, and we will discuss things just like this about who has the biggest dog. So they were showing Cesar as this huge dog, and he was all pulling on the leash. This guy was all holding him back, looking like he could barely control that dog. The dog's all breathing heavy and messed up. And I was wondering, like, man, how big is this dog and how does he compare with Cujo? So I started telling the people that owned him, I was like, I think BGK's Cujo is bigger than Cesar, right? He just doesn't have the fancy videos of him pulling on a leash and stuff, but I know the size that I create monsters. You know, all right? BGK's Cujo was right about 150 to 160 pounds, give or take, depending on the day, right? So that was his walking around weight. The guys from Urban Lion, and I'm sure there's going to be some guys on here in the comments arguing about this because they're going to be mad that I brought up this topic. But this is a true story, so I'm going to tell it to you guys. The guys from Urban Lion got really mad at me. They kept saying, you're down talking Cesar. You're saying he's small, he's not small. So we're on these forums, we arguing back and forth. I'm like, he's not small, but he's not the same size as Cujo. And then finally they said, you know what? After that video went viral, you know, they were like, okay, there's a dog show coming up in Europe, and if BGK's Cujo is willing to show up, we're going to bring Cesar. So this was like a big deal in the bully world. All the XL American bully breeders were like, okay, Dre's been talking a lot of shit about how big Cujo is, and if Cujo's really not that big when he shows up, that's going to be a problem. Short story shorter, both of the dogs ended up at the same place at the same time, and I got the video and pictures to show you how they actually looked when they pulled up next to each other.
I got you. Okay. Stop. Okay. Perfect. Three on the front. Okay. Yeah. Sit down. Okay.
As you can see, there's actually truly no size comparison in the video or pictures of these two dogs. Cujo makes him look like a puppy. He had to take pictures with Cujo after that. He couldn't believe Cujo's size in person. Imagine talking all that crap about how big your dog is, and then my dog makes your dog look so small that you become a fan of my dog and take pictures with him holding his leash. That's Cesar's owner holding Cujo's leash. He had to recognize who was the real beast. We weren't impressed by Cesar. He was definitely impressed by BGK's Cujo. We don't lie. I also noticed that their dog Cesar had breathing problems in both videos, both the one with him pulling the guy and the one with Cujo, and unfortunately he died from health issues at a very young age. And that's another thing about BGK. We don't just make big, but we make healthy. Cujo lived a full life, up to 13 years old. This dog barely made it to 2.5.
I think the dude that owns Cesar was shocked when he actually seen Cujo in person, because Cujo is a freaking beast. A lot of times when you have a larger dog, it's harder to show that in pictures and in video without having something that gives you a good perspective. And then on the other hand, like with Cesar, what happened with Cesar was he was around a lot of smaller guys in these videos and pictures, and so he looked a lot larger than he actually was. Short story shorter, when Cesar and Cujo ended up in the same spot at the same time, you see the results. You're looking at the results right now. Cujo made him look like a fucking puppy. Period. There was no comparison in size. So of course, I hopped back online and let them know, hey look, Here goes the pictures, here goes the video of Cujo sitting next to Cesar, standing next to Cesar, making him look like a damn puppy. And they was like, oh man, that's just a bad angle. It's just a bad angle. Yeah, everybody got an excuse when it comes down to being real. But some of us actually really produce big ass dogs. Me being one of those, right? So do not challenge me when I start telling you about the size of my dog, because I've heard it so many times. My uncle, friends, cousins, baby daddy's sister has a dog just as big as yours. Yeah, right. My sister's mom's little brother has a dog that looks just like yours. Yeah, right. How come they never show up? I just released the ebook, XL American Bully Legends. Please check it out. It documents the history of the breed, the dogs that we consider XL American Legends, and also the dogs that we consider XL American Legendary mentions, right? That almost made the cut, that had a big influence on the culture. If you want to learn about the dogs, the famous dogs that you should be looking for in your pedigree, and the dogs that actually influence the culture, this book is for you. If you want to know about XL American Bully history, this book is definitely for you. Check it out. Andre BGK, and I'm out.